Hi, and welcome to Lillian and James Walker Park here on Anderson Cove, one of the city's great stormwater accomplishments. On today's show, we're going to be learning about a fantastic new app for reporting things like potholes and streetlight outages. We'll be visiting the brand new College Instructional Center on Olympic College's Bremerton campus. And we'll be learning about stormwater projects the city will be working on in 2018. This is Inside Bremerton. Welcome to Inside Bremerton, the city's monthly program highlighting issues and topics important to its citizens. I'm your host, Constance Baird. If you've driven down Warren Avenue lately, I'm sure you've noticed the construction on the Olympic College campus. In January, the College Instructional Center opened its doors to students and citizens of Bremerton alike. And lucky for you, Sean Devine gave us an inside look. Let's check it out.
We are in our new building, the College Instruction Center, here on our Bremerton campus. This is the $46.5 million, 70,000 square foot building that opened on January 2nd to start winter quarter. It provides a new home for our art, music, theater, digital film, and some health occupation fields like physical therapist assistant and nursing assistant.
While Olympic College doesn't compete in size with giant universities like UW or WSU, the completion of the CIC building comes with some distinct honors for Kitsap County's local community college.
Yeah, so this is the largest funded project in the state community and technical college system's history. So in terms of funding and square footage, now you can imagine that at some point that will be displaced by the next great project at one of the campuses around the state. But as of right now, we have the largest funded building in state community and technical college history for Washington State. It was apparent from day one that faculty and staff really love and appreciate the opportunity to teach here. You look at the William D. Harvey Theater, that's a 270 seat theater with all of the bells and whistles you could ever hope for. Fully configurable walls for theater, music, lectures. It has incredible lighting and sound. It really is an incredible space that will be used by not only the college but also the community. The ceramics space has been dubbed the football field by folks who come visit it because of the sheer space. And that tells you something about the previous ceramics studio. It was just quite a bit smaller. We also have our digital film making program here. We have an incredible soundstage where they'll have configurable set walls where future directors will be honing their craft. The music ensemble and rehearsal spaces are absolutely beautiful. The sound is incredible. So I could go on and on about this building. It's exciting for everybody to have a space and an opportunity like this.
Even with all the excitement, there were some challenges for students and neighbors along the way, namely a lack of parking. But don't despair, the college has a plan.
Part of the project included demolishing the old art, music, and theater buildings and converting them into parking spaces. So when it's all said and done, we will recoup all of the 250 spaces that were displaced by this building. At the entrance to the building, you'll see just a really nice bus shelter that was designed by Kitsap Transit. And in fact, they've been an incredible partner. They contributed their own funds to build a bus shelter that includes elements of our mosaic, the Progress of Man, that was built and finished in the 1960s by our original art faculty, Hank Blass. So in the ceiling of this bus shelter is basically a recreation of the mural. So when it's sunny, if it's ever sunny again here, you'll see a reflection of light and color that mimics the mural on the floor. So really nice to know that we have partners in the community who are on board with this project and helping to contribute to it.
OC students aren't the only ones who will be enjoying the amenities of the CIC building. You can check out the beautiful public art gallery, open spaces for meetings and receptions, and more.
This building, it really modernizes the teaching and learning experience. For people in Kitsap County who are thinking about going to college, who are interested in the arts and in filmmaking, you couldn't find a better environment to study and learn about these fields and these techniques. So it's an incredible enhancement and it's an incredible upgrade for not only our students but for the community here in Bremerton.
Have you ever driven by a fallen street sign or some graffiti and wondered how to report that to the city? Well, we have your answer right here. The City of Bremerton has developed a new app for reporting issues and even sending pictures directly to city staff.
So Bremerton One is a reporting system in app form. So we're trying to make it easy and convenient for citizens when they're out walking their dog or if they're driving in their car. If they see something wrong, they can easily report it to us. So we have the Bremerton One app downloaded from the App Store. It's available on Apple and Android. And so I just go to it like this. You'll see a picture of the three people. There's me on the right and Hillary and Kelly, and we're the three that receive the email and dispatch it. So you just tap the screen and then you get your menu of options. So maybe we want to take a picture of the issue. So I'm going to take a picture, hit the check mark. You can see it turned green. I'm going to add a location. So the map is pulling up. You can zoom in, you can zoom out, you can move it around, or you can change the map if this version is easier for you to see. So put it on the location of where the issue is located, hit the green check, and then you can add comments. You can just say what the issue is, and then I'm going to choose a category. There's a lot of different things on here. I'm just going to enter my email and send it. We get the graphic showing that it's sending.
And the email just came in. It's really that fast.
How convenient is that? You can send a picture straight from your smartphone. I love it. Now I'm here with Chance Berthiaune, the city's stormwater permit coordinator. Thanks for joining me today, Chance.
You bet. Glad to be here.
So first of all, tell me a little bit about the park that we're standing in on this blustery day.
Well, this is a stormwater treatment demonstration park where we installed a sand filter, modular Filtera tree box, which treats the stormwater before it goes out into Puget Sound. And we have a bioretention swale behind us. All of those are current BMPs or treatments that can be applied or used to treat stormwater. So that's this purpose of this whole site, is to show that these are available, we have them in town, and we're applying them where we can in our current projects.
I think that's so neat. It's so functional and such a beautiful little park to spend time in as well.
Yeah, it is a nice park. The city purchased the property and then removed a few houses, cleaned it up, and came up with this for a plan. The Parks Department had a big part with the CDBG grant money, and Colette Byrne ultimately designed and laid out the park amenities, the amphitheater and the bench and the landscaping. And our Public Works Department did the groundwork through a contract, and of course, you know, that turned out excellent. So overall, the area has been improved. We provided a community park that people enjoy. So it's a great asset to the community.
Absolutely it is. Now, I think you've been with the city for just a few years. Why don't you tell me about some of your background with the city of Bremerton?
Well, I started with the city in 1988 and have been here, started in the street department, moved into the storm and sanitary crew, and from there I moved into sort of engineering, but not really. I developed all of the stormwater sanitary sewer maps that the city uses. Essentially, I went out and created maps of what is in the ground, schematics of how the system is connected and where the manholes, catch basins, pump stations, all of that are located. And we use that for our combined sewer overflow reduction program that I was involved with from the ground floor basically until about 2007.
Wow.
So I've been pretty involved with both the streets and putting stuff on the ground to doing the monitoring, environmental monitoring for the city, biosolids, groundwater, drinking water. So it's been a pretty good career.
No kidding. And I understand before that you spent some time with the Navy as well. Is that correct?
I was in the Navy for 8 years.
Well, thank you
before.
for your service.
Thank you. Yeah, it was a pleasure. It was a great time.
Good. Well, the city's lucky to have such a deep background in you as an employee, going through so many different projects and programs, and you've really got a wealth of knowledge that you're working with now in stormwater. And I understand recently you got a new certification. Can you explain that to us a little bit?
Yeah, sure. I applied for and had to prove my knowledge and skills to get the current certification. It's a certified professional in municipal stormwater management. It involves essentially showing that you understand stormwater programs, budgets, illicit connection identification, how to manage the program overall, what the federal and state requirements are. And currently the Bremerton operates under a federal permit issued to us by the Department of Ecology that regulates and defines how we're supposed to run our stormwater program to reduce pollutants that are going into the sound from stormwater pollution sources that we all contribute to.
Right.
So yeah, it was a very challenging test. It's good to be certified, and I feel very lucky that the city has supported me in all of this.
Definitely. And it's my understanding also that there aren't a whole lot of people with this certification. Is that correct?
No, this is an international organization. I'm number 391.
That's not very many for an international certification. That's great, Chance. Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, it's a good program. It really is. There's several other certifications you can get. The next, I'm going to go for more, of course, but it's really good to be working with professionals that understand the importance of stormwater management and how to financially do this without, and being cautious with expenditures and getting the most out of the dollars that you do spend.
Sure, just being good stewards of the money that you're working with, absolutely.
And how to leverage grants.
Right, also very important.
That's a big part of what I do is apply for grants and work with different organizations to get there.
And I believe you were telling me just earlier that you just got your grants approved for this next upcoming round of projects. Is that correct?
Yeah, with the state budget when it passed, we have actually 2 loans with the Public Works Trust Fund Board that are going to provide funding for Ostrich Creek, some culvert replacements over in West Bremerton, and then East Bremerton we're going to be working on Stephenson Creek and a flooding problem on Eagle and Dib. And this is going to be going on for, these are really large projects. So it'll be probably 3 years before we're done.
Sure.
But we're getting geared up to take care of those. I also have 2 grants that I applied for from Department of Ecology. One is for a stormwater treatment retrofit on Marine Drive, and the other one's on Kitsap Way. There's a small section of Kitsap Way. So we're going to put in treatment before it goes into Oyster Bay and Ostrich Bay, with the ultimate goal of reducing fecal coliform, total suspended solids, phosphorus and whatnot, treating it to improve water quality for the marine habitat as well as the residents and of course wildlife and shellfish. It's a big push to get water quality improved in those areas to ultimately open up just quite a few acres of shellfish beds that have been closed since 62.
Wow. Well, that's a huge accomplishment, really.
Right. We have another design where we're going to be looking at putting in some treatment over in East 11th in the Manette Business District. So we'll be reaching out to the Manette Business District to work and coordinate with them, of course. But it'll be all new sidewalk, curb and gutter, probably some new tree boxes that'll treat the stormwater from there. So,
wonderful.
So they're pretty cool projects.
Definitely, and really keeping you busy, I'm sure.
I was keeping all of us busy.
Yeah.
Even Chow, he's swamped at the moment. But it's good, it's good.
It really amazes me the foresight that you need to have just as a department to apply for the grants, then get the grants, and then as you said, it can be years until these projects are even completed. So that's a lot of forward thinking, really.
It is. We plan, I was a lot more eager and unaware when I first started this, but you have to plan 4 or 5 years ahead of time.
Sure.
Right? So anything that we're putting in now ultimately is not going to get funded or even started for another 4 or 5 years. It takes at least a year in the grant application process before you know you have it or not, and then another 6 months before you get a contract, if you do get enough to be awarded a grant or a loan even. Yeah, these things take time and they take planning. So as part of that, we're just finishing up our stormwater comprehensive plan, where I've laid out the next 6 years of projects with working with engineering, of course, and Chow, our director, and our stormwater group, and trying to lay out what our needs are for not only improving the system and maintaining it the way that it should be, like we have been, but also how can we get treatment installed in different locations and prioritize those, along with salmon barriers and all the little details. There's a lot.
So many little details, I can only imagine. I also imagine that you work with some community partners to help these things come to fruition. Who are some of those partnerships that you might work with?
I'm an active member. We have our stormwater managers group. So all of us regional stormwater managers get together and we discuss projects and needs and coordination if we have to coordinate for any particular thing, permit issues that we might have or questions. So that's really good. We have all the cities in the county get together. We even have some outliers from Port Townsend. So we're spread out. I'm also involved with the West Sound Watershed Council, and that's the salmon recovery group for our area.
Right.
Kitsap County and the Suquamish tribe are the leads for that. So I'm a member on the technical advisory group, so we review the projects, the 4-year work schedule, the work plan, identify fish barriers that need to be prioritized in our own jurisdiction. And of course, I work to get those on the schedule so that we can ultimately try to get funding to help offset the cost for doing the replacements of those barriers. I work with the health district a lot. I work with Kitsap County Stormwater Division quite a bit. And I'm sure I'm forgetting somebody, but...
Well, I imagine it just takes a lot of networking, getting everybody on the same page to work together.
A lot. We do a lot of coordination for, just to manage the program. Not so much, you don't have to coordinate much except for inside the city, which, as the permit coordinator, that's where I do spend a lot of time, is coordinating between parks, our stormwater maintenance and operations group, our facilities group, police and fire. Anybody that's first responder to a site, it's important that they know what to do as far as if there's an accident or a spill, and then how we respond. So I work with our administration staff that that documents the calls, and then of course our water resources, they do the illicit discharge detection elimination, so they do field monitoring to look for any issues that are out there or respond to spills and whatnot, or complaints. So yeah, you definitely need to know who's doing what, where they are.
And just so many details that I think really the average citizen, I know for sure myself, I wouldn't think of any of these things. So we're grateful to folks like you and the departments you work with for making sure all these things get done. One thing I'd really like to know is, what can we as the citizens of this county and the city do to participate? How can I be a good steward of our area as well? What things could I do at home to contribute to a healthy stormwater?
Well, everybody contributes to water pollution ultimately. We drive our cars, we fertilize our lawns, we spray pesticides, herbicides, poisons, or whatever, and everybody does it. So it's a matter of consciously applying those things. Only use what you need. You use the most environmentally safe products you can get. Vinegar on dandelions works fine, So find natural remedies for your problems that you want to address, and most of the time it's a lot safer. So I think if everybody does a little bit of that, it helps out collectively, because we all reduce a little bit, You know, it adds up real quick.
And really, that's the importance of tending to our stormwater, isn't that right?
Oh, it's absolutely right. You know, it's not just, the city isn't going to be the only one who has to fix it or treat it or whatnot. It's everybody that contributes to the pollution, even if we don't realize it. We do. You know, it's just, and it used to hurt my feelings when people told me that. You know, but it's a reality.
Sure.
You know, we all do. And it's a matter of just being aware and conscious. And then we have some good information on our website. It's the City of Bremerton's official website.
Okay.
Right. So
we'll recommend that to our viewers to check it out.
All right. That sounds good.
Thanks so much for joining me today, Chance. I feel like I've gotten a good education. I hope you have too as the viewers. We thank you for joining us.
Sure. You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
Anytime. I'd like to give a big thank you to Sean Devine, Sarah Eddington, and Chance Berthiaune for joining us today, and to you, the viewers, for tuning in to find out the latest and greatest in the city of Bremerton. I hope you'll join us next time on Inside Bremerton. Hey, before you change the channel, did you know that you can find BCAT on Facebook? Give us a like to check out all of our adventures at the station.